Hello. Recently I've got a pretty lot of comments asking about more reviews of full-size headphones, and I thought that it's definitely about 80 or 90% of my video reviews dedicated to some portable dubs and in-ear monitors. So I've contacted my friends from Era in-ear. It's Ukrainian retailer. They're also making great cables, but I contacted them to ask what full-size headphones models are the most popular and what are their best sellers. And they told that one of the most popular models are MrSpeakers Æon Flow. It's, of course, it's not a new model, everyone knows about them, but anyway, I ask them for a loan and they provide me both open back and closed back models. Yes, this model exists in both versions, and I decided to make a review because it's really worthy model. Of course, it was released about 2 or so years ago, if I remember right. Closed back model was released in 2017 and open back about a half year later. But anyway, maybe some of you didn't heard about this model, or you are looking for some full-size headphones, and after this review you will say to yourself, definitely I should consider them. So price is $800 and those are planars, and nowadays $800 is probably the average price for the full-size planars. And now let's have a closer look. Box is absolutely simple. It's black cardboard without any polygraphy, just company's logo and model's name. Inside there is a clamshell with headphones. I will put them aside for a while. Also manual, some information about product care, about warranty, about earpod replacement, and some other information. And also you will have a set of dampers to tune the sound and cleaning clothes. So it's short description, but let's put it somewhere on the floor for a while. So clamshell is pretty good. It protects headphones really nicely, and at the same time it's pretty compact, so you can carry it with you without any problems, if you'd like, of course. Nice option for storage, for protection. Inside you will have headphones themselves and cable. Ordering these headphones you can select, would you like version of cable with 4-pin XLR or with 6.3mm connector. I've got both with XLR connectors. So in terms of design, they are great. It's definitely the case when headphones have their own unique look, and at the same time they are really comfortable and they are really lightweight. What I like, weight is 340 grams. They are one of the most light planars ever made. Really interesting materials, really a lot of well thought work. You can see this shape of cups, maybe it's kind of teardrop or some seed, I don't know what they should remind, but they're looking really interesting. Also interesting gimbal, just a half arc, not the full size fork like, but half arc, probably reducing some weight and at the same time providing enough durability to the headphones. Forgot to remove this block put here for storage. As you can see, this is the open back version. It has interesting honeycomb-like texture on the outer grille, really looking attractive. Headband is simple, but this is some special alloy providing good clamping force and durability, and they are really nicely tuned, providing proper clamping force to your ears, and at the same time they will definitely give you good wearing comfort. Even long listening sessions are okay with them. They have this signature headband. It can be moved to adjust the size a little bit, but actually you can move it all the way down, and when you put them on, it will adjust headband almost automatically. And also this leather headband doing a good job in terms of weight distribution, so once again I can repeat that wearing comfort is nice. Ear cups are pretty big, so even big ears will fit nicely. Inside actually you can see this padding, you can remove it and insert another version, finding proper damping, but actually I stopped with the stock one. And here is the closed version of the headphones. As you can see, absolutely same design, but instead of this hexagonal honeycomb grills, these have carbon inserts, also looking pretty nice, gathering a bit of fingerprints, but anyway also attractive. Cables are made replaceable, and MrSpeakers used unusual connectors. I think it's some version of LiMo connectors used in some high frequency radio and other industry applications. They are a bit unusual. They have 5 notches inside, so you need to properly align them to connect. Let me see it. It's always hard to find proper position. But when you find this position, you just push it and it's connected. And same for this connector. Push, little click, and they are connected. And they are really easy to disconnect. You just push them, pull them, and that's all. You know, I think MrSpeakers are using the best connectors in the history of modern audio. Stock cable is called definitely unmagical, and probably that's true. There is no magic in this cable, but it's pretty normal. I'd like it to be more flexible and with a bit less microphonic, because this fabric isolation has a slight microphonic effect. But anyway, I think for the stock cable, for the mid-range headphones, this is a pretty good option. You can select one of 2 versions of connectors, but that's all. So in terms of design, build quality and durability, I think these headphones are one of the best, even not mentioning the price. They can be compared with some flagship models, I think, without any problems. And also MrSpeakers offers 2 years of warranty for these headphones for labor and parts. And of course about the sound. I've got only XLR cables, so I can't connect them to some digital audio player right now, but anyway I will put Ultima on the table to show some examples. Let's pretend we connect them. And first of all, I must admit that these headphones require some proper good amplification, because they are low impedance. If I remember right, they've got about 14 ohms of impedance both, and sensitivity is 92 and 94 decibels for open and close model, and actually it's a pretty hard load for almost all amplifiers. They require good current output, so they definitely deserve some good desktop combo or some really high-end digital audio player. So you should consider that thinking about these headphones. They both use MrSpeakers signature technologies. Some first technology is named Flow. It's some waveguide that helps sound waves pass the magnet system easily. And second one is a special shape of diaphragm that provides more linear movement. Actually, you can visit their official site. There are illustrations, there are descriptions, so I think it will be better than I will try to describe them in more details. And let's now talk about the sound. Of course, I gave them about 80 hours of burn-in for both models, and I did some experiments with these dampers, but actually, I decided to go for both versions with in stock option, because of course you can tune the sound, but I decided to analyze the most pristine form, probably, let's name it so. And what is surprising about sound of these models, actually, usually open back model sounds more linear and closed back are more fun and V-shaped. For MrSpeakers Æon Flow, it's quite the opposite, because closed model is really linear, really natural and detailed, probably the most natural closed back model that I've heard, and open back is a bit more on the fun side. So let's move step by step, probably. So closed back model, base is linear, it has good depth, it definitely has a good punch, good weight, and of course it has good resolution. You won't expect probably something else from good, well-balanced planar headphones. If you like some accented low frequencies, that's probably not a model for you, because they don't adding anything to low frequencies. What is present in the record you will hear. So if it's a bass heavy record, they will play it. If this record isn't accenting lows, you won't have any additional accent, just as recorded. So I think that this model will be better for some acoustic instruments, for some real instruments, for acoustic bass, for fortepiano, for organ or something like that. So as an example, for these headphones, here it is, one of my most favorite albums. It's Hugh Laurie, Kiss of Fire. If you heard this great song in this interpretation, you can remember this bass line, and definitely these headphones nail this track easily and fluidly. While this model also has similar low frequencies in terms of speed, in terms of resolution, in terms of texturing, attacks and decays, so it's also a good planars probably. They have a more noticeable accent on the upper mids and not upper mids, of course, on the upper lows and mid bass. So they have slight accent that makes them more focused, and this gives more warmer sound to the bass and to the lower mids. Depth is similar here, but in these headphones you will hear deepest layers of bass better than here, because there is no accent, so it's just a matter of perception. Amount of lowest bass is similar, but here it's more prominent. And this is a bit more funny sounding model. Usually closed backs are warmer, but those are an exception. And so this is better model for some pop music, for some electronic music, or just in case if you'd like to listen to jazz or something like that with more accented lows. So it's just a matter of preferences, what you need to choose. And as example for them, well, pretty expected, the Glitch Mob, Drink the Sea. Good electronic music with a lot of bass, and these headphones, thanks to this mid bass and upper bass accent, nail this track nicely. You will have all the synthesized lows. And now to the mids. So closed back version continue their signature line. Mids are linear, natural, without any coloration, and with pretty good detalization. They are focusing on the micro details, and that's why they are pretty critical to the quality of recording. If something is recorded poorly, you will definitely hear it. If something is wrong, or some issues with compression, or with some other issues with mastering, for example, you will also hear that. So you need to have proper recordings for them, but with good audiophilic recordings you will hear all the tiny nuances, all the emotions. And another plus, actually, they are pretty good in staging. They are above average in width and above average in depth, with nice layering. So not the most spacious one, but for the closed back model they are definitely good in this aspect. They are really good in representing what is put in what is present on the record. As an example of mid frequencies for them, I've got Hof Ensemble, one of the best records in my collection. I also mentioned them, but just another. Once again, this track is a good example. So Red Mama, and perfectly recorded minimal jazz with a lot of instrument nuances, with perfect amount of balance and other stuff like that. And these headphones, probably the best closed back headphones for this track that I've heard and that I've tested. And once again, actually, open back version is a bit contrast to the closed back. So they have also good resolution, good detalization. Of course, you know, both of these headphones are good planars, and they are definitely resolving, but here mid sounds a bit recessed compared to the accented bass, and that's why they are more forgiving to the quality of recording, and they have a bit more weight on the lower mids, so they are a bit more focused on the emotions and on the macro side of things. You know, if you like to hear some additional emotions, if you'd like some records with blows, with rumble, with other effects like that, this is a model for you. Surprisingly, staging for this model, of course, they offer a bit bigger stage, but not much bigger than this model. So they are a bit more intimate than traditionally open back planars offered to the listener, but of course they not sound too narrow or too congested. Once again, they are better in width and in depth than those, but not by a big margin. So probably, you know, open back here is just allows to create different signature, not drastically improve staging. But anyway, stage is pretty good for them. Also, actually, I forgot to mention that, of course, those have less sound isolation because of their open back nature. And as an example for mids, for the open back model, I've got Jethro Tull, Locomotive Breeze, or emotional, really intense track. Everyone heard it, everyone likes it, and this model, thanks to this a bit V-shaped signature, nailed it perfectly. You know, it's really interesting and interesting representation. And treble. So once again, you know, you can even extrapolate my previous review and imagine that I will say now. So those have a linear treble with a slight accent. It's a bit more forward than open back model, and treble has actually a bit less extension. So treble here has a bit better extension, but here it's more focused and a bit more forward. So this model is probably for those who like a bit more accented treble with, once again, with perfect resolution, really nice attacks and decays. Layering is average, but it's pretty good for this price range. And what else I can say? I can say treble is really natural and really airy. You know, it's, if I didn't see these models, I probably will say that this is closed back and this is open, because sound signatures, they totally different, unexpected for both of these models. And as example of treble for these headphones, I've got Layla Martial, one of the best female vocal records in my collection, and closed back Æon Flow really nails this track nicely, representing all the rich nuances of Layla's voice, with all the details and with all this spaciousness and airiness. And this model is a bit more forgiving in terms of treble. They are a bit less accented on treble and a bit more extended. So this model is probably for those who like a bit less treble. But actually, with these dampers you can change the amount of treble by few decibels with each, so you can tune treble in both models if you'd like. But anyway, this one is a bit more polite, not actually much, but anyway. And as example, here is famous Yugoslavian rock band Bijelo Dugme track named Jer kad ostariš. It has pretty aggressive and forward treble with some tiny bells ringing in the chorus, and I often use them to test the treble in the headphones, and with this model it sounds a bit more sharper than I prefer, and with this model it's perfectly okay. But of course added dampers can fix that. So it was pretty long description of sound. I thought maybe I should split it into two reviews, but then I decided to make it single review. So to summarize, those are linear, neutral, technical, and a bit probably not on the brighter side, but with a slight hint of brightness. And those are also technical, resolving, of course, but a bit more V-shaped and a bit more on the fun side. Once again, you can tune the sound with dampers, but anyway, the stock versions are sounding as I've described. It's totally a matter of your preferences, which signature would you like. I actually like them both, and I probably don't know which one I'd choose if I have to choose only one. But unfortunately, those are loan units, they should be returned, but I'm thinking really actively about buying at least one of them. As for comparisons, unfortunately, once again, probably I can't do any comparisons because I don't have anything in this price range. Oh no, actually I've got one model, it's Campfire Audio Cascade, but Cascade have noticeably different tuning with more bass. They are more on fun side, they have more accented low frequencies, and and a bit more forward treble, so it's a different tuning. So I'm sorry, but no comparisons. Maybe in future we'll have some other models in this price range, because for example, Mesa 99 Classics, of course, they are not as good as those, and Mesa Empyrean is definitely better, but the price is 3 times higher, so no much sense in comparing them. So to summarize everything, if you're looking for some good model in the middle price segment, and especially if you have a good source, because they require good source, I definitely recommend you to listen to the MrSpeakers Æon Flow, both open and closed version, because they are definitely interesting. Thank you for attention.